Hello everyone, thank you for introduction. Today I will talk something about vendor neutral. I want to stress that it's quotes vendor neutral security. I think for that presentation some security vendors may start hate me. But the second thing that I want to stress that how to create secure system and keep the budget virtually. I want to stress the virtually. So the so this table of content. First, I will introduce why do you need to dive deep in vendorless again security. Then I will show you some examples of different types of systems that you can implement and to not pay to the vendor. And then the last part of my presentation, I will, let's say, talk why do you don't want to do it. It's some kind of my pleasure to security vendors, why they don't need to hate me. So let's start with the introduction. The first reason why do you need it, it's always the pain of every security person. I think it's a budget. I found the most relevant statistic that I found that about 40% of average IT security budget is spent to the from the overall IT is spent to the IT security. But I think it's includes everything that might be security, like Active Directory, like some stuff in clouds that is not security directly. And the second two numbers shows that the number of companies that don't have any security measures in place and companies that suffer any type of attacks are still high. So that's three reasons why do you need to dive deep in vendorless, again in quotes, cybersecurity. So let's start with some tools, and we'll start with the border patrol. Let's say there was the great presentation about the identification and the fortress that's not needed anymore, but there is many infrastructures that built on on-premise solutions, and they like to create the fortress. They think that if they create the fortress, no one can get in. So I will show how we can create the fortress and don't pay any money to vendor. First of all, the firewalls. The first firewall is pfSense. It's a legendary firewall. I think everybody knows about it. It's a very great solution, but it has one big problem. It has a tricky configuration. It doesn't have the graphical interface by default. So the second is OpenSense. It's a pfSense with the graphic interface. That's all. And the third is firewall community. It's some kind of UTM solution that includes firewall, mail security, anti-malware solution on the channel level. The second part of border control is mail security. The main, let's say, the best, in my opinion, solution here is a mail scanner. It contains 4 anti-spam engines, 2 anti-malware engines. They works very well. Before I tested mail scanner, it was the F1 anti-spam solution, but it not supported for 3 or more years, so it's not reliable right now. So the mail cleaner is like the OpenSense. It's a mail scanner with good graphic interface. And the last one that I want to present is RMS, Mail Security Gateway. Very good solution with flexible configuration, and it also contains very good anti-spam engines. Also in border patrol includes network intrusion detection and intrusion prevention systems. Snort and Suricata is also, let's say, the standard, because the Snort is a very old intrusion detection system, and Suricata works the same way. They are similar, let's say that, and they use the same rules. And the second is Zig, formerly Bro. It's a very powerful intrusion detection and intrusion prevention solution. It also has the deep packet inspection. It's not so good working as in, for example, in Cisco or another big solutions, but it works, at least. And web application firewalls, there are not so much web application firewalls in, let's say, solutions that are not supported by the big vendors. The first is mod security. It was previously the Apache-based modification. Now it can be installed separately as a separate application, and that works great and helps to prevent the big number of web attacks. The second and the third are a little bit smaller, let's say that, than mod security. The first of all is modification for Nginx and only prevent cross-site scripting and SQL injections. And the second one is some kind of black and white listings solution. It's not the web application firewall it's not fully actionable WAF. The second, the face control. It is about the authentication, about the login and so on. That's some solutions that I mentioned. Want to mention here, first of all, is different user directories. First is OpenLDAP. It's a very lightweight, small solution that can store accounts of your employees. The second is Samba. It's a very big and great solutions. Some years ago, when Microsoft opens the documentation, part of documentation for Active Directory, Samba uses this documentation, and now it also works with the group policies, with the user policies and so on. It's a very great and big solution that can replace the Active Directory in your infrastructure. And FreeIPA, it looks like the Samba, but it also has additional support of single sign-on and multi-factor authentication. And about the multi-factor and SSO, the first great solution, in my opinion, is a Glue. Very powerful solution. It also can be configured as a passwordless authentication, so you can try to use it if you need to check if your infrastructure is ready for passwordless, for example, or for SSO. The second is Authentic. It contains OpenLDAP with the SSO and MFA solution. It also has some identity management possibilities, more than OpenLDAP. And Aerobase, it's just SSO plus MFA solution. Not bad. If you have already some user directory, you have IAM solution in place, and you want just to add. Second, find the problem. There will be some solutions that help you to find vulnerabilities in your infrastructure or in your application. Vulnerability management, I will start with the Greenbone OpenVAS. Also, it's a very popular solution, popular instrument. It has also the commercial part. They also can provide you with the server that is installed and configured. but it's also available as a free software that you can use. Second is OpenSCAP. It's command line vulnerability management. It's more works with the compliance, with the baselining and so on. It's not fully vulnerability management system. And third is Trivi. It works with the cloud infrastructure, which Greenbone doesn't work with the cloud. It's only if you can install the agent. And Trivi can, as I remember, work with the AWS API to find some loopholes and vulnerabilities in your cloud infrastructure. And also it can works with the Git wrappers. And about the DevSecOps pipeline, WASP, ZAP, it's also very, very popular and very powerful dynamic application security testing with the fuzzing, with the different modules. It also can be integrated with your pipeline as a container. It calls the headless ZAP. So it starts in your pipeline and then gives you the report and shut down. The second, it's a dependency track component analysis tool. It's quite new. You maybe, if you use GitHub, you know about the Dependabot that works in GitHub infrastructure. And dependency track makes the same. He finds the vulnerabilities in the packages, in the third-party packages that you use in your development, and show them to you. And Defect Dojo, it's a solution that combines reports from different scanners, for example, from the ZAP dependency track, and it combines in a single place. You can see the vulnerabilities, you can see the SLA, and you can address the vulnerabilities from Defect Dojo to your tracking system like Jira, Redmine, etc., etc. The last part of the tools, it's I called My Fortress. It's about endpoint security mostly and monitoring. So endpoint security, again, the biggest and most famous is OSSEC, popular host-based intrusion detection system. Second is, I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly, Wazoo, something like that. It's also XDR system, but it has the SIEM monitoring capabilities on a single platform. And third is OpenEDR. It's quite new solution because before we don't have any anti-malware solution host-based. We only have some kind of solution that works on the server or on the network part. The SIEM solutions, there are also some free SIEM solutions. First is Osome, formerly Alien Vault Osome. Now it was bought by AT&T. They also have the commercial part, Unified Security Management, as I remember, USM. And the free part is also available, also SIEM. Second is a Prelude SIEM. There are many different, it's a combination of different free tools like Suricata, like OSSEC, but it also can make some correlations and make some viewing of your logs. And this, the last is log management tool. It's not a full CM, Greylog, it's a log management, so you can use your own correlation engines with that system. And the last three systems from the backup family, they are not fully backup systems, but I put them here because it's more like the file synchronization between different endpoints or different servers, something like that. the only Barreos, as I know, can make the incremental backups. The another can only make the full backups and replace them, like the snapshots. So the last part, why it's virtual and why it was in quotes. The first problem is like it was on the first slide and in the first part. It's a budget. It's a real cost. Because the free software is not free fully, because you need to maintain, you need to manage, you need to support it by yourself, by your team. I can give an example from real life. When I was working in one big enterprise, developer team comes to me. They are developing a big system for our clients, and they ask, we need something to manage the identities. I said, okay, there is a great system that can be integrated. It's a key clock. Let's count how we can integrate it, how much money and time it will take from us. Our application was written on Java. We have a lot of Java developers, and key clock is also based on Java. So we didn't find any problems. But when we checked the price of implementation and support by our development team, it shows that it will be more convenient and cheaper to buy one identity IDM and with their premium support and their integration. So the free software not always free. The second big problem, in my opinion, it's vulnerabilities. Yes, the free software usually in free access, also the source code is available on GitHub or Bitbucket or somewhere else, and there is some kind of thoughts about the 1,000 eyes. So if 1,000 eyes looks every day on some kind of code, they will find all vulnerabilities, but it doesn't work. The biggest thing that proves that it doesn't work, as you remember, was long ago. Yes, it was about OpenSSL vulnerability. It was really bunch the industry. So 1,000 eyes doesn't work. And the third thing, it's not cons. It's about what you better should do. You should make good risk and threat analysis, and then you can determine which part of your infrastructure you can close with the free solution, and it will save your budget, and which part of your infrastructure or of your company you should protect with some maybe commercial enterprise, maybe not so big, but paid solutions with the paid support and paid integration, because it's always budget. So thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions.